Welcome. In this session, we would solve some of the questions which have been asked in the Combined Geological Services Prelims Examination for Geology 2023. Now, the idea here is to get an information about the kind of questions. The complete solutions along with the detailed explanation for each of these questions would be available in the handout, so you can refer that. The links below have the complete solutions. Now, the question first talks about the critical temperature at which all magnetic material becomes non-magnetic is known as Curie point. Now, where the magnetic substances loses permanent magnetism, and this is what is called as Curie point. Very, very important concept. Now, let's talk about some of the other terms. For example, blocking temperature. Blocking temperature is the temperature below which the magnetic material actually maintain their orientation, the magnetic orientation. Phase transition is where the transfer of substance from one phase to another, solid to liquid, takes place, but this is not related or limited to only magnetic properties. And then secular variation, this is the fluctuation in the magnetic field of the earth, which is again unrelated to the critical temperature. So here the correct answer would be Curie point. The next is incised meanders. Now, meanders are seen in the early stages, right? So when the river is in its youth form, the meanders are seen. However, when we talk about deltas, those would be seen towards the old stage of the river flow, or the formation of oxbow lakes towards the older stage. So whether which of the following is correct, right? So it is a erosional feature. It's in the early stage, so it's erosional. In the later stage, it would be depositional. It represents relative drop in the base level. That's correct, because you'll have the meandering flow. It would be steep, narrow bedrock valley that it flows in. That's again correct, and it's not associated with floodplains. With floodplains, you have the oxbow lake, which is associated, and that's the result of the meandering. So once you have the meandering, you would have the depositions that would take place, and because of the depositions, what would happen? There can be a lake which could be created because of this meandering phenomena, and this lake shape which is formed would be called as the oxbow lake. So oxbow lakes can be associated with floodplains, but not the incised meanders, right? So decrease in the base level is very, very important, because this could be either the sea level is declining, there is a tectonic upliftment, or there is river incision which has already increased because of some reason. So 2 and 3 would be the correct options here. The next is, which of the following landforms is related to which agent? So Loess's formation is seen in the desert areas, and therefore it is related to wind. So the agent here is wind. Incised valleys, it is again one of the very, very important phenomena that is related to river, which we have already seen. Hanging valleys are seen in the glaciers, where the glacier actually moves and there is a formation of smaller glaciers with bigger glaciers, and at the point where smaller glaciers and bigger glaciers are merging, there is hanging valleys which are found. And blind valleys are one of the characteristics of underground topography or karst topography, also known as groundwater topography. So groundwater is one of the major agents here. So these are the correct match under this question. The next is in a basalt terrain. Now, what we need to understand, it's basaltic, that means it is mafic. Now these are again very, very important questions even for your CSIR earth sciences, because similar kind of questions are asked. Now basaltic is mafic. Now since it is mafic, it would have higher iron content, higher magnesium content, and these are because of the chemical weathering which is seen in the semi-arid areas, we could say, where less rainfall occurs. Now here in a basaltic terrain, which of the clay minerals would be present in low mean annual rainfall, right? So as I said, it is basaltic, low rainfall, dry conditions, semi-arid conditions. This would be kaolinite, which would be seen. Now bauxite is usually seen in tropical and subtropical cases where you have heavy rainfalls, so bauxite cannot be the answer. Gibbsite is again seen in higher rainfall, intense weathering conditions, and cementite is usually again seen in higher rainfall situation, but it is commonly associated with with the good amount of water availabilities, we could say, or better conditions. So the only correct answer where you have the low mean annual rainfall would be kaolinite. The next is lizardite. Now lizardite belongs to which of the following mineral groups? Now this belongs to the serpentine mineral group. Serpentine is phyllosilicates, and that is the sheet silicates that are present. Some other examples besides the lizardite which are part of the serpentine group are antigorite, or we could say cryostolite. So those are some of the other minerals which belong to this category. Now chlorite is again a phyllosilicate which is present in sheet, but it is different because it has higher content of iron and aluminum which is present. Similarly, epidote has a double chain structure, so it is sorosilicate actually, so it's not related here. And elite is again a mica group which is similar to the sheet structure, so it's in the category of phyllosilicates, but the makeup is we could say the structure composition of elite is very different. So the correct option here is serpentine. The next question is a very interesting question. There are some species of peligoclase which have spectacular colors ranging from blue to green and red. This iridescence is called as, the correct answer is labradorescence. Now labradorescence is actually a optical phenomena where the iridescence hues are seen. These could be in the feldspars, in the peligoclase structures. It could be in the because of the light diffraction that occurs in the crystal, and because of that you have a range of colors from blue to green to yellow and red which is seen. Asterism is a star-shaped optical phenomena because of the orientations which is seen, usually found in the gemstones. Fluorescence is the light emitted by a material which is exposed to a UV rays. Phosphorescence is similar to fluorescence, but the light is actually present even after the source is removed. So we call it as phosphorescence. So those are some of the differences, but here the correct answer would be labradorescence. So those were some of the important questions that have been discussed. Now coming on to the CGS examination preparation, once you qualify your prelims, you can choose either geology, hydrology as one of the papers, or geophysics and chemistry as other papers. Now, once you qualify it, you are eligible for mains. The complete preparation for each of those, including the solved PYQs and details, are available in each of the portal. So, once you qualify, if you qualify in geology, you will be appearing for 3 geology papers. For geophysics, again 3 papers. And for chemistry, again 3 papers. For geology, you have an option to pick one of the papers as hydrogeology. So, based on that, the paper solutions, the complete detailed solutions for each of these papers are available, so you would be able to have an insight about the subjective questions even for mains answer writing. So wish you all the best. Thanks for joining in and have a wonderful day ahead.